No waiting, no announcement. That is the feature presentation, Jeff Lewis, and he looks like he is pissed at Fright Night.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to clarify one little thing here. You talk about the Vaseline on the head to prevent him from being busted open. You said that's the object of the match. No, the object of the match, you jerk, is not to get busted open, and that's what we're trying to do for Kory Chavis, is not get him busted open.
Well, if you're Jeff Lewis, the object of the match is to bust the other guy open. So, yeah, it kind of works either way. Right now, Kory Chavis fighting off the attempt at the post. Lewis does the same. These are both former Anarchy heavyweight champions. Chavis and Lewis. Kory Chavis was the very first Anarchy heavyweight champion. Jeff Lewis captured that title by defeating, good Lord, he captured that title by defeating Chad Parham. That reminds you get the fake tears. Thank you very much. Right now, Jeff Lewis raining punches down on the head of Kory Chavis. The first blood match is rather simple. Now just ripping away at the guy is rather simple in concept. Make the other guy bleed. That's the only way to win.
You know what I don't appreciate is Jeff Lewis going after Jeff G. Bailey. That's not right. That's not proper. He's got to keep his eye on the match.
Well, it may not. Good Lord. Well, it may not be appropriate in your eyes. I'll say this much. It's not smart. He knows what an asset Bailey is at ringside as a distraction. And right now, Jeff Lewis raining down right hands. The crowd behind him here. And now, again, just clawing away at the skin, trying to bust open Kory Chavis.
You know what? For the last few weeks, since Jeff Lewis was kicked out of the NWA Elite.
Looked like he quit, if you ask me.
Well, he was kicked out. I've been referring to Jeff Lewis as direct-to-DVD at the request of Jeff G. Bailey. However, this past week, Jeff G. Bailey called me up and he said, you know what? Jeff Lewis isn't even good enough to be called direct-to-DVD. In fact, from now on, I will refer to Jeff Lewis as the B-Flick on the movie channel. Nobody even has that on cable anymore.
So right now, Jeff Lewis, the feature presentation in a bad way. Kory Chavis raining down, right hand to the head of the feature presentation.
B-Flick.
Referee Jacob Ashworth checking to see if Lewis has been busted open.
Close enough. I mean, his face is red. He's embarrassed. He's embarrassed to be in the ring with Kory Chavis.
Oh, and a cheap shot. Cheap shot by Jeff G. Bailey.
No. I know for a fact the ring on that hand costs up in excess of $11,000.
Okay, so it was an expensive shot. That doesn't make it legal.
There are no rules in this match.
Well,
you said it yourself.
The object is to make the other man bleed. It's just that simple. And now checking for blood again. First blood matches are inherently brutal by their very nature. Where the object is to make the other guy lose blood before God in the world, there really isn't anything more personal than that. Sends Lewis to the far side. Lewis moves. Chavis now feeling the right hands. Jeff Lewis goes up top. 1, 2, raining down the right hands to the head of the Soul Assassin. And now just biting him.
Oh, now come on, he needs to get him out of the corner here. That's illegal.
There are no rules. That sounds vaguely familiar. I might have heard that a couple minutes ago. I'm not sure, but hey.
But you shouldn't be allowed to bite somebody.
And you shouldn't be allowed to hit somebody with a really expensive ring either. Jeff Lewis wasting some time, though. Big boot to the back of the head. And now, just clawing again at the head of Kory Chavis. Jeff Lewis is almost on a one-man crusade against the NWA Elite. Has been for the last several weeks.
Yeah, but you see, Greg Hunter, he keeps turning his attention to Jeff G. Bailey. Yes, I understand Jeff G. Bailey is the leader of the elite, but Jeff G. Bailey's not a competitor. Jeff G. Bailey is the mastermind of it all. You have to beat the competitors before you get to the mastermind, and if he keeps turning his attention to Jeff G. Bailey, he's going to find himself with a crimson mask on his face and looking up at those lights. I would say counting them, but we know Jeff Lewis can't count.
All right, now, the Soul Assassin pulled to his feet. Right hand measured, make it 2. Jeff Lewis, a 2-time former World's Television Champion, former Anarchy Champion. Spine split up from the Soul Assassin. That's put many a person away, but a pinfall is meaningless in this kind of match.
Well, you know, you're absolutely right, but the one thing that can do is that can incapacitate Jeff Lewis and give Kory Chavis plenty of opportunity to bust him wide open.
It can, now trying to punch down at the head of Jeff Lewis. Kory Chavis with those hands heavily taped. Abrasive is the surface of tape, any kind for the most part, especially athletic tape. It can tear away at the skin. No doubt the reason Kory Chavis has taped those fists here tonight. Big right hand, make it 2. Jeff Lewis firing in forearms and elbows to the skull of the Soul Assassin. Sets him up. Off to the far side. Duck a clothesline. Big drop kick from the feature presentation, and now telling the referee to check. Ashworth still says no blood.
And, you know, and right here, I mean, this is where Ashworth needs to get in and give Kory Chavis just a little bit, you know, of a break. A little bit of a rest period. I mean, he's been going hard and heavy for the last few minutes. You know, maybe he just needs to catch his breath, let the blood flow, you know, trickle down a little bit, let it calm down, because if he keeps getting, wait a minute.
Oh, Jeff Lewis allowing himself to be distracted by Jeff G. Bailey. That will be enough of a rest period for the Soul Assassin. Forearm to the stomach. And now, big headbutt. And they both go down.
And now Jeff G. Bailey going over to check on Kory Chavis here. I mean, this is the perfect opportunity for Kory Chavis to get his breath. I mean, there's no way that Jeff Lewis is going to be able to come back after this. And wait a minute.
Hey, whoa. Would you look at this? And now,
wiping the sweat off his brow. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, well, was that sweat? I'd like to see that paper towel he just used.
Why? It's just sweat.
Yeah, it could have been something else too, Jack.
What could it have been?
It could have been blood, you moron. That's the point I'm trying to get across. Good grief, do I have to draw you a diagram? Sends him in. Kory Chavis looking for another spine splitter. Instead gets DDT'd for his troubles. Again, no blood, says Jacob Ashworth. And right now, Jeff G. Bailey circling the ring. He passed something off.
What are you talking about?
He passed something off to Kory Chavis. And now, Jeff Lewis allowing himself to be distracted. Big, oh, wait, there's a roll of coins. What in the world?
What?
He just dimmed Jeff Lewis's lights with a roll of coins.
Is it welfare day in Cornelia?
Would you shut up?
Look at those people there fighting in the quarters.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the match, the Soul Assassin, Kory Chavis.